Let's talk to Ladona Harvey, though, the host of News Radio 600 KOGO in San Diego. Ladona, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Now, we're getting ever closer to the magic moment of November the 5th, are we not? I mean, for us, it's a bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night, the night we celebrate how Parliament wasn't destroyed. Sometimes people wish that it had been, but there we are, we're stuck with them. How are things there? Well, Trump has been talking about Kamala Harris, first of all. Let's have a look at what he said in Michigan.
If you want your incomes to plummet, your net worth to collapse, your tax bills to soar, your jobs to disappear, then vote for Lion Kamala to be the tax queen, to be your president, because if you want to do all those things where your country goes to hell, where your country ends up in a 1929-style depression, then vote for Kamala.
Kamala. He comes out with a different pronunciation every time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he takes every opportunity. And here's the thing. He's not necessarily wrong. You know, the Democrats are very high tax. They believe that they can sort of equal things out by taking some people's money and giving it to other people, and that somehow will make things better. You know, the question is, does Trump have a better plan?
Right.
And when it comes to tax cuts, it's very hard to say that he has a better plan because I haven't really heard any specifics. Right now, the race is too close to call, and both candidates are going for the throat, as they should. I mean, we're down to the wire, and they're still within a margin of error of beating one another, which to me is just crazy that, you know, we have a country that can't quite figure out what its decision is going to be.
Yes. I mean, I was talking to somebody who used to be in government yesterday and who said to me, the trouble now is that with the problems that Labour has got, you know, it's very clear that they can't govern the country. But the worry that people have now got is that government is so difficult now for everyone. You know, you can't really govern any country because there's so many problems that no one individual or one party can fix.
Well, and that's not a mistaken kind of idea. Politics has become so ugly and so partisan that you have groups of people on one side saying it's death and this is the most important election ever. The other guy's a Nazi. The other side is, you know, the other guy is it's gonna be flamethrowers. This is the most important thing you've ever done. And the political parties themselves have created this rancor among voters. And I think you're seeing it, we're seeing it, where you can't even have family who disagrees with you anymore. It's not allowed.
People are not speaking to members of their families anymore, are they? Because they can't get into certain subjects, or if they do, they've fallen out so much over it that they now don't talk to each other. And let's have a look at what Kamala's been saying about getting some help to the families who have suffered at the hands of the hurricane.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
A lot of people have reacted badly to that, $750 per household, given that the United States has sent over $100 billion to Ukraine. People are going, sorry, what?
Right. Well, and $750, that's one trip to Costco, if you could find one in North Carolina, quite frankly.
And if you've got a boat.
It's a trip to Costco, and maybe you can fill up with gas, and I think you're pretty much done with your $700. That is not immediate relief. That's just a little bit of a pittance to kind of get everybody off your back.
Yeah, absolutely right. And in terms of the way that the world is going at the moment, I mean, have a look at this. This was a bit of video that we spotted yesterday from Singapore, right? This was actually put out by one of CNN's business correspondents. But over in Singapore, you know, it's a small country, a small island. If you look behind what you can see in the ground there, there's boats everywhere, ships sitting there. They can't move because they can't get through the Middle East because of the Houthis. They can't get through the Red Sea. They can't get through the Gulf. And so they're just stuck off the coast of Singapore. Can you see that?
It is stunning. And then over here we have a dock workers strike that luckily they've suspended until January. But we were starting to see all of the Gulf Coast and the East Coast not accepting ships. So we were starting to see those building up there.
Right. And so that's going to have a knock-on effect on prices, on goods deliveries, on all sorts of things, right?
Right. It's luckily the dock workers kind of called it off for now, but they are still intending in January to go ahead and strike, which is their right. They have a labor agreement. They get to negotiate a new deal. They've been offered a 50% salary increase, which for most people is extraordinary and stunning. But once again, modern technology kind of gets in the way of the negotiations, because every time you hear automation, AI, is it going to put us out of business? Dock workers are very concerned about that, and they want to have a fight over it. They do not want automation.
Right, incredible stuff. We've also got a clip of the Houthi rebels from the Yemen striking a British oil ship in the Red Sea. Have a look at this. I hadn't seen that before. That's quite shocking, that. And, of course, Keir Starmer is too busy trying on a new suit to say anything about that.
Boy, that is stunning. And the Middle East is heating up with Iran, lobbing missiles at Israel. Things are not going well right now, and I think a lot of people are very, very frightened. And you're seeing that reflected in stock markets, and you're seeing that reflected in people's everyday lives. They're very concerned that this is going to blow up into a much wider war. And I don't think any of us, I don't think that anybody in the Middle East or in America or the UK can afford this.
Well, no. And also, I don't think a lot of people have much hope or faith in the Biden administration, where you've got Kamala Harris currently running around the country trying to get herself elected president, and Joe Biden, who the last time he was asked about Hurricane Helene didn't seem to know it had actually happened.
Well, and you have also a Democratic Party that is not as pro-Israel as one would hope, if you are pro-Israel, and a Republican Party that's very gung-ho on Israel. So if that is a major concern, that could be a voting point. If it's not, then, you're worried about how costly things are going to be at home.
I know. Absolutely unbelievable. Listen, we've got to leave it there, Ladona, because we're out of time. But thank you very much indeed. Ladona Harvey, host of News Radio 600 at KOGO San Diego.